Bioenergetics. Now, bioenergetics is a quantitative study of the energy transduction that occur in living cells. Okay, it is a quantitative study of the nature and function of the chemical processes behind this energy transduction. Okay, while the energy transduction occurs in the living cell, the chemical process which bring this energy transduction, those chemical processes, the quantitative study of those chemical processes is termed as bioenergetics. Thermodynamic principles. The first law of thermodynamics tells that the energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed, but energy can transform from one form to another form. Okay, this is the first law of thermodynamics. And that is the reason why the total energy of the system, including surrounding, remain constant. Okay, the total energy remains constant. That's your first law of thermodynamics. So this equation represents the first law of thermodynamics, that is delta U is equal to delta Q minus delta W. Whereas delta U is the change in the internal energy, delta Q is the heat exchanged from the surrounding, and then delta W is work done by the system. Okay, so change in the internal energy is equal to heat exchanged from the surrounding minus the work done by the system. This is your first law of thermodynamics. If delta Q is positive, then heat is transferred to the system, and that is the reason why there is increase in the internal energy. Okay, delta Q positive, there is increase in the internal energy because heat is transferred to the system. Now, when delta Q is negative, then heat is transferred to the surrounding, and because of this there is decrease in internal energy. Okay, so decrease in internal energy happens because heat is transferred to the surrounding. Okay, and this is represented by showing delta Q negative. When delta W is positive, then work is done by the system, and because of this there is decrease in the internal energy. Okay, when work is done by the system's internal energy will decrease, and this is represented by delta W being positive. When delta W is negative, then work is done by the surrounding, and when work is done by the surrounding, then there is increase in the internal energy. Okay, delta W being negative results in increase in the internal energy. Now the second law of thermodynamics states that the total entropy of a system must increase if a process is to occur spontaneously. If a process is occurring spontaneously, then the total entropy of the system must increase. That is the second law of thermodynamics. That is how you represent the second law of thermodynamics mathematically. That is delta S is greater or equal to delta Q by T. This delta S is the change in entropy of the system. Okay, this change in entropy is greater or equal to the heat exchanged from the surrounding divided by the temperature. Now this entropy is the unavailable form of the energy, and it is very difficult to determine entropy. Okay, and that is the reason why the new thermodynamic term called free energy is defined. Okay, why this free energy is defined? Because it is very difficult to determine the entropy. It is just the unavailable form of energy. So you are not able to determine entropy, so you defined free energy. Now this free energy or Gibbs energy is the portion of the total energy of the system which is available for useful work. Okay, the portion of the total energy which is available for useful work, that portion of total energy is known as free energy or Gibbs free energy. Now the change in free energy is denoted by delta G. Okay, delta G is the change in free energy. At constant temperature and pressure, the relationship between the free energy change and the change in entropy of a reacting system is given as delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. Okay, this delta G is your free energy change, delta S is your change in entropy. So delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S, and this delta H is change in enthalpy and T is absolute temperature. Okay, delta H is change in enthalpy where T is absolute temperature. So delta G, that is free energy change, is equal to change in enthalpy minus absolute temperature into change in entropy. Now this delta H, that is change in enthalpy, is the measure of change in heat content of reactants and products. Okay, the term that measures the change in heat content of the reactant and product, that term is known as delta H, that is change in enthalpy. Now this change in free energy, that is delta G, can be used to predict the direction of reaction at constant temperature and pressure. Okay, if at constant temperature and pressure you know the value of delta G, then you can predict in which direction the reaction is going to go. If delta G is negative, then the reaction proceeds spontaneously with the loss of free energy, that is the reaction will be exergonic. Okay, if delta G is negative, then the reaction is exergonic, there is a loss of free energy. Now if the delta G is positive, then the reaction will only proceed if the free energy can be gained. Okay, that is this reaction is endergonic. Okay, when free energy will be gained, then only the reaction will proceed when delta G is positive. Now when delta G is 0, then the system is at equilibrium, that is the forward reaction and reverse reaction takes place at the equal rate. Okay, system is at equilibrium if delta G is 0. Delta G of a reaction A giving B, okay, delta G of this reaction depends upon the concentration of reactant and products. Okay, what is the concentration of reactants? What is the concentration of product? On that, the value of the delta G depends on. Now at constant temperature and pressure, this equation is derived, that is delta G is equal to delta G naught plus R into T into log of concentration of B divided by concentration of A. Now delta G naught is the standard free energy change, R is the gas constant, T is the absolute temperature, and these two are the actual concentration of reactants and products. So free energy at constant temperature and pressure is equal to standard free energy plus gas constant into absolute temperature into log of concentration of product divided by concentration of the reactants. Now let's read about standard free energy change. Now the actual change in the free energy during a reaction, that is delta G, is influenced by temperature, pressure, and the initial concentration of reactants and products. And this actual change in the free energy differs from the standard free energy chain. Okay, delta G is different from delta G naught. Now, a chemical reaction has a characteristic standard free energy change, and this standard free energy change is constant for a given reaction. Now, this standard free energy change can be calculated from the equilibrium constant of the reaction at standard conditions. Which are those standard conditions? Well, the solute concentration should be 1 molar, temperature should be 25 degrees Celsius, and pressure should be 1 atmosphere. Okay, in these standard conditions, you can calculate the value of standard free energy change from the equilibrium constant. Now, the free energy change that corresponds to the standard states is known as standard free energy change, that is delta G naught. Okay, standard free energy change is nothing but the free energy change at the standard condition. Relationship between standard free energy change and equilibrium constant. Now consider this reaction, that is A is converted into B. Now in this reaction the point of equilibrium is reached. Okay, that is at this point no further net chemical change is taking place. In this condition, the state in this state the ratio of concentration of B is to concentration of A is constant, regardless of the actual concentrations of the two components. Okay, at the point of equilibrium, the ratio of concentration of B is to concentration of A is constant regardless the actual concentration of these two components. So equilibrium constant is equal to concentration of B at equilibrium divided by concentration of A at equilibrium. Now the concentration of reactants and concentration of products at equilibrium define the equilibrium constant KEQ. Okay, equilibrium constant is defined by the concentration of reactant and product at the equilibrium. Now the equilibrium constant KEQ depends upon the nature of reactants and products and also depends on the temperature and pressure. Okay, so the nature of reactant, products, then temperature, then pressure, all this thing defines your equilibrium constant. Now in the standard physical conditions such as 25 degrees Celsius temperature and 1 atmosphere pressure for biological systems, the equilibrium constant is always same for a given reaction whether or not the catalyst is present. Okay, it does not depend whether catalyst is present or catalyst is absent. The equilibrium constant of a reaction is always same at standard physical conditions. Now consider this reaction. A is giving B, then B is again giving A. If this reaction is allowed to attain equilibrium at a constant temperature and pressure, then at equilibrium the overall free energy change for this reaction is 0. Okay, the free energy change is 0 but because this reaction is at equilibrium. So therefore delta G naught, that is the standard free energy change, is equal to minus RT into log of concentration of B at equilibrium divided by concentration of A at equilibrium. And that is the reason why this delta G naught is equal to minus RT into log of equilibrium constant, that is KEQ, because this gives equilibrium constant. Now that equation allows some simple predictions. Okay, if the equilibrium constant is greater than 1, then the delta G naught value is negative and reaction proceeds forward. If the equilibrium constant is equal to 1, then delta G naught is equal to 0 and reaction is at equilibrium. And if equilibrium constant is less than 1, then delta G naught is positive and the reaction proceeds in the reverse direction. Okay, if the delta G naught is negative, then reaction proceeds forward. If the delta G is positive, delta G naught is positive, then the reaction takes place in the reverse direction. The ionic composition of an acid or base varies with pH. Okay, the ionic composition of an acid or base varies with pH. So that is the reason why the standard free energy calculated according to the biochemistry convention is valid up to pH 7. Okay, at pH 7 the standard free energy value is valid. So that is the reason why in biochemistry convention delta G naught is symbolized as delta G naught apostrophe, and the biochemical equilibrium constant is symbolized as K apostrophe EQ. Okay, so this is how you represent the symbols according to biochemistry convention. So delta G naught apostrophe is equal to minus RT into Ln into K apostrophe EQ. Okay, so this is how you represent the equation according to biochemistry convention. Now the thing is that all reaction don't take place in the standard conditions. Therefore, there is a relationship that has been worked out by which a distinction can be made between the actual free energy and the standard free energy. Okay, so this is that relationship. Okay, that is the actual free energy is equal to the standard free energy plus RT into log of concentration of product divided by concentration of reactant. Okay, this is the equation that gives the relation between the actual free energy change and the standard free energy change. If the concentration of the product and reactants is unity, then the actual free energy change is equal to standard free energy change. Okay, when this thing is possible, when the concentration of product and reactant is unity. Now this standard free energy change, that is delta G naught, is the change in the free energy when the products and reactants are in unit concentration. So what is the definition of this standard free energy change? Well, it is the change in the free energy when the products and reactants have unit concentration. When this thing happens, then the change in free energy is your standard free energy change. Now in all spontaneous biochemical reactions, the free energy, that is delta G, of a reacting system is negative. But the value of the standard free energy change can be positive, negative or 0, and this depends upon the equilibrium constant of a reaction. So consider a reaction. Okay, that reaction, the value of the free energy may be negative for that particular reaction, but the value of standard free energy may be positive, negative or 0. Okay, if delta G is negative, then it does not mean that delta G naught also has to be negative. It can be positive, negative or 0. The value of delta G naught depends upon the equilibrium constant of the reaction. It does not depend upon the value of delta G. Now consider this reaction, that is glucose 1 phosphate getting converted into glucose 6 phosphate. Now chemical analysis shows that if we start with 20 millimolar of glucose 1 phosphate with no glucose 6 phosphate in the system, or if we start with 20 millimolar of glucose 6 phosphate with no glucose 1 phosphate in the system, then after some time at 25 degrees Celsius, the final equilibrium mixture is reached, and in that final equilibrium mixture there is 1 millimolar of glucose 1 phosphate is to 19 millimolar of glucose 6 phosphate. Okay, 1 millimolar of glucose 1 phosphate is to 19 millimolar of glucose 6 phosphate. This equilibrium will be reached whether you start with 20 millimolar of glucose 1 phosphate or 20 millimolar of glucose 6 phosphate. Okay, this equilibrium will be reached at 25 degrees Celsius after some time. Okay, it is same for both these condition. So if we calculate equilibrium constant for that reaction, then we will get 19 by 1, which will be 19. Okay, glucose 6 phosphate is the product and glucose 1 phosphate is the reactant. So the concentration of reactant divided by concentration of product divided by concentration of reactant gives us equilibrium constant, and that is the reason why the equilibrium constant for this reaction we got 19. Now we know the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius for this reaction, and we know the value of equilibrium constant, and from this data then we can calculate the value of the standard free energy change. So the value of R is 8.315 joule per Kelvin per mole. Then the value of the absolute temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, which will you convert in Kelvin and get 298 Kelvin. And the value of equilibrium constant is log 19. And after solving that, you will get minus 7.3 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so this is the value of the standard free energy change you get. So this is how you calculate the value of the standard free energy change with the help of temperature and the equilibrium constant, and you get the equilibrium constant by the concentration of the product and reactant. Now the standard free energy change of two consecutive reactions are additive. Now according to thermodynamic principle, the overall free energy change of a chemically coupled series of reaction is equal to the sum of free energy changes of individual steps. You take individual steps, you take individual free energy changes of that individual steps, you add them and you get the value of the overall free energy change of a series of a reaction. That is how it is. Okay, the standard free energy change of two consecutive reactions are additive. Now consider these two sequential chemical reactions. Okay, A is giving B, then B is giving C. Okay, these are the two sequential chemical reactions. Now they have their own equilibrium constants as well as they have their own standard free energy change. Okay, delta G1 is the standard free energy change for this reaction, and delta G2 naught is the standard free energy change for this reaction. Okay, so this is a sequential reaction. Okay, so therefore A gives C in the end. So this A giving C has its own equilibrium constant, and that is the reason why it has its own standard free energy change. So the standard free energy change for A to C is given by delta G total equal to delta G naught G1 plus delta G naught 2. Okay, this gives the total free energy change. Okay, it means the free energy standard free energy change is just additive. That is what the whole point of this discussion is.